Well, here we are again. This is this is our review number 5. It is what chapter? Do you remember?
Cut!
Here we go. We're back again. This is Guardians of Desire, chapter 3. I guess I'll check in the paperback what that is. But it's chapter 3 for the deluxe edition.
It's chapter 5 for the deluxe.
Jesus.
Cut!
What? How is this chapter 5? It says...
It's the 5th chapter, but it's Guardians of Desire, chapter 3.
Okay, we'll do it again. All right, here we go. We're back. Guardians of Desire, chapter 3, chapter 5 in the deluxe edition. So we're here. We're ready to do this. But first we have the bubble tea. I'm okay with it. I'm coming around to it. It's redeeming itself. Oh, sorry. So I'll go first. This is, let me check this label. It's on lavender black tea. Give me a second. This is good. It's good. Yeah, I like it here.
It tastes like jasmine tea, pretty much.
It's good. I don't have a problem with it.
It's good. That's one of their better ones, I think.
The fucking balls keep getting stuck. Okay. Don't say it. All right, go.
I have mango milk tea. Very good. Good stuff.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Tapioca pearls. That's what you have too.
Good. Fanfare over. All right, so we're gonna do this in sections, and I guess it's just like the scenes, right, of each one. And so in this first scene, the Puck is being escorted to the Count's daughter's room, who she actually was shown in the last chapter for half a second. I went back and looked, and she's like looking out the window. And so, who's that lady? Yeah, right. So Puck is in a cage, and he's being a real baller, just thinking about poor old Vargas and how he didn't deserve that. So he goes with the Count and gets dropped off. It's basically like Monster Uber with Teresia. What do you think about that?
I thought I really enjoyed the part where he is envisioning himself being baked into a cake.
I thought he was like smelling cake. And he was like, "Oh shit, I'm smelling some delicacies," because she's high society, although she's a prisoner.
Maybe he was, but
Peach.
there is an elf on top of that cake.
Oh, was there? Okay, okay, cool, perfect. Yeah, he's got this kind of funny look. I guess in that sense, like maybe he's like, "Well, if I'm gonna be anything, cake's not so bad." And so the Count, he's interacting with her, right? And
yeah, he says, "You still won't let me touch you." So this is a long-term thing. Yeah, so she reels back a little more of that haphophobia business, right? And she has a little sweat shock, and then he's also he's sweating. Yeah. And to me, I was just wondering if he's like having this internal fight where there's a part of him that wants to slice her up and marinate her in some sort of, like he wants to, like he's like getting he's getting hungry. Yeah, like is he fighting with himself that he wants to eat her, in contrast to his fatherly urge to be affectionate. I don't know. Yeah, that's an interesting. I like that wasn't hitting my mind, but that totally makes sense because one thing that I was thinking for this is he is so he goes outside. Well, this is what made me think of it. He goes outside and he's thinking about damn. Grabbing the railings, and he's gets fucking pissed, and of course he's a monster now, so he can crush stone in his hand like no problem.
And so that just got me thinking, like, he is a monster, right? Through and through, but he is grappling still with his humanity. And it's like, if you want to be a monster, you got to cut all of your ties to your human part, right? Because like part of being a monster is sort of like cutting off your ability to have those human connections that really, make people thrive, the like emotional threads to people that matter to you. And so he really doesn't seem to do that. And I thought it was kind of interesting because like in your little design document, you're saying like, oh, like the hive mind business is like, there's like the human side and then there's the thing inside of the human. What do you think about that? Like humanity versus monsternity?
This certainly seems to be a theme, at least in every single one of the fights so far, in which he is up against this creature. They are constantly contrasting him as a human with them as a monster.
Yeah, they're like, you don't stand a chance. You're not, you're like, you're humankind, right? You're not monster kind.
Even using all their intelligence, they can't make a cat or something outside of a dog.
Throwing a little nod to kind out there. So yeah, that does seem to be the case. And so, well, that got me thinking about people in our reality that like we'd consider monsters. And so I've got a little bit of a roll call here that's kind of interesting, and hopefully we can put this in a nicer, a more fun tone to this light. But so I was looking up just like the kill counts for genocidal, I mean, I guess you'd say maniacs. They're people, right? Whatever.
The Kim Dynasty, North Korea, 1,576,300. Pol Pot, Cambodia, 2,171,300. Leopold II, 6,245,000.
What country is that? That might be Belgium.
That's right, it's Belgium. Joseph Stalin, Soviet Union, 8,990,700. Chiang Kai-shek, Republic of China, 10,511,100.
Wow, I didn't know Chiang Kai-shek had his own standing.
He's got some numbers. He's been pulling some numbers.
Adolf Hitler, Germany, 18,564,900. And last but not least, topping the charts for chopping up hearts, Mao Zedong, 30,851,000.
So
I mean, no wonder he's my favorite.
He's your favorite, yeah. Yeah, well, he's the best. He's got the gold
Communist,
medal. Yeah, he's got the gold medal. Yeah. So I guess one thing I take from this is Joey's not as bad as I thought. He gets his name thrown around a lot, but he's not as bad. But anyway, so the other thing I thought is, wow, man, these apostles are bad motherfuckers killing and eating people, but like they're not as bad as some of the people in our reality. So just something to think about. Maybe like if you eat someone in front of someone else, right? Maybe that there's like a different like gradient of like weight to how you kill people, but probably not. I mean, if that was the case, then being like, oh, well, I'll kill 1 million people, and then that's worse than eating someone whole in front of you. Okay. It is what it is. All right, so Zondark plus 0.2 or Zondark plus 2.0 or Rainbow Edition versus Guts. Okay, so he has gone like total 100% Krauser insanity here.
Witness the power!
Krauser?
Why don't you play Resident Evil 4? Why don't you go play some fucking games and then you'll have some references in your mind. And it's awesome and glorious. Like, it's interesting to see the disgusting designs here. Anatomy just like, it's freeform, baby. It is full on, like, just, and I mean, of course, this has got to be slimy, right? Does it look like?
I actually have some commentary about that.
Let's hear it.
You know, you see anatomy and sexual organs. I see bugs.
You're fucking gross. That is, okay, so I'm gonna let you do your thing. Go ahead.
Bugs are fascinating. I miss my calling as an entomologist.
They are like monsters, you know, they're most monsters though.
Yeah, I mean, the bug world is a pretty unforgiving world. And I think my love of bugs actually comes from playing Sim Ant when I was a kid. Ant colony management, fighting with red ants, black ants, spiders, you know.
Interesting.
There's actually a new ant colony game called Empires of Undergrowth that maybe one day I'll play, if you ever let me.
You got some shit to beat.
Yeah, I know.
You look, don't start a game and don't beat it. Start a game and beat it. It's that simple.
All right, this week, Breath of the Wild.
Yeah,
and then next week, new game.
I totally believe you, dude.
What I have been thinking about this whole time is very specifically caterpillars. My favorite personally is the tomato hornworm. It's a gardener's worst nightmare because they will destroy your tomato plants.
You have experience with these?
I do. Actually, every year I try to capture one and put it in a jar.
And suffocate it?
No, you put holes in the lid. And I always try to get it to chrysalis phase so that it can like...
Oh, it's going to cocoon up?
Yeah, the protrusion out of Zondark's head of the Count, you know, that form.
It's like overflowing now. Yeah, it is very like caterpillaristic.
Yeah, and it has nodes on the side, which very much remind me of, and other caterpillars have this too. They have these things. They're actually called spiracles, and they look like eyes, so they confuse birds. It looks like eyes along its body. Yeah,
Spiracles.
So the nodules along the side, the Count's monster form, the
Zondark Plus 0.2
reminds me very much of those markings on caterpillars. Also, apparently, the like protrusions, the spikes coming out of them or whatever. I always thought tentacles were like much longer, like an octopus kind of tentacle. But apparently, caterpillars have tentacles, and so
can we get some tentacles in here?
You know, so very specifically, there's the blue swallowtail caterpillar looks kind of like the Count in bug form. It's got very showy tentacles coming out of it.
Because I was thinking it's kind of like catfish whiskers.
The other thing is single cell regeneration. Is that what you call it?
It's like, so the secret of monster kind, you mean?
Yes.
Okay. It's like single generation cellular evolution and regeneration. Yeah. So you don't have to, it's not something, it's not random mutation over time. It's just random mutation instantaneous.
Okay. And actually he does reference this in this fight with Zondark Plus 2.0, where he says it's futile. I'll just keep regenerating myself over and over again. You know, you can chop me to pieces. I'm just going to keep doing it.
Yeah, he says I'll just get bigger.
Yeah. So there's an invasive species of flatworm that is spreading across the United States. It's actually ranked as one of the 100 worst invasive species. The thing they always say is, don't cut it in half. Don't,
it's going to mutate.
Yeah,
right.
It's going to turn into more if you cut it up.
So the other thing I was thinking about this is that Guts in this fight uses his, hand-mounted crossbow. This thing is really cool, and he didn't use it in the last couple of chapters in this fight. And I was wondering, maybe he's not using it because it's so crazy as fuck Berserk AoE that he doesn't want to endanger people. signifier for like, who does he care? Like is there some kind of aspect of someone around that he cares about? Oh, well, if there is, then you're not seeing him use the crossbow because it's so, bonkers. But this contraption is amazing, and it's like sort of this fun idea of like Leonardo da Vinci machines, like hook shots, and Leonardo da Vinci has all these awesome sketches of like kooky, crazy, ridiculous like propeller and umbrella air pumping flying machines and shit. And so I just love the idea because it's like, how can you make tech out of just combining a shit ton of simple machines? Right, and also like, where do you get this?
Good question. I mean, there's a lot we don't know, right?
Yeah, there's a lot we don't know.
I can't wait to find out.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Things.
There's a lot you don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I just thought that was an interesting deal, and it's like before steampunk, there was just simple machine punk, which is a lot cooler than steampunk. Steam power is like totally overdone. Simple machine shit, spinner, hookshot. What's good?
I mean, I do wonder if it's more like a dramatic effect kind of thing, because I feel like the arrows are very dramatic, as well as like him queuing up another batch of arrows, and so I do just really enjoy the whole archery. I really like it.
Okay, and so he cuts him up, he fucks him up, and then the Count kind of like, so this is another like tropey thing where the Count's like, you won't kill me, and the only way to thwart my plan is to do exactly this right here, which is cut my head off, right? And so he does that, and then the Count is trying to like go up the sword and take his body over, huh?
Yeah, I enjoyed that. Where I was like, you did what I told you to do, and now I'm gonna eat you alive.
Yeah, right. So it's hard to say if it's like, if he meant to do that on purpose or what. But the other thing is that Guts is fucked up now. Like, he is coughing up enough blood to where he is like, damn, I've lost a lot of blood. And so it's like, usually like people are in some fucked up state of shock, or someone else is like, hey man, you might best sit down because you're not doing okay. And the person's like, no, I'm fine. But he is like, I've lost a lot of blood.
Yeah. And actually, so over the course of reading all of these chapters, I know I've mentioned this in other videos previously, but this was the moment where I was just like, come on. Like, he has been, each successive monster that he runs into, like, literally flails him around and smacks him up against walls.
Internal damage to organs, right?
Yeah, his organs must be liquid by now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so at this point, and we're not even to the final fight of this chapter. So it was like, are you even kidding me? Like, he keeps going. Energized.